welcome back to my YouTube channel, No Mirror Needed, where I create personal growth, self-help, and development videos just for you. So the purpose of this video today is to dive right back into my Law of Attraction Planner from Freedom Mastery. Now, I did a whole video about this journal, so if you're interested, I will leave a link down below for you. It basically goes over the journal and the purpose of the journal. So if you're new to Law of Attraction, manifesting, and even journaling, then you are going to want to maybe check out that video so you can see what it's like to start using a planner like this and get the ball rolling for yourself if you're new to journaling and manifesting. So the purpose of this video is to look back and reflect on the last 90 days to see if what we set for ourselves in the beginning of the year, if those goals are being accomplished and if we are on the right track. So I think it's very important to do this. It boosts your confidence to make sure that what you're doing is actually working, and it makes sure that you are on the right path to accomplishing all those goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year. So let's just go ahead and get started, get right into the planner. I absolutely love this planner, and I've talked about it before. I think journaling and planning in general is something that just keeps my head on straight. It keeps me focused and it keeps myself accountable, making sure I do all the things and all the goals that I set for myself. Now, obviously, sometimes you're not going to accomplish every single goal that you set yourself up for, but I think it's important that if at least you tackle them and you get 1, 2, maybe even 3 goals accomplished, then you are doing well and you're doing fine and you are in the right mindset to make sure that you are achieving those goals for yourself and that the things that you want are absolutely getting done for yourself. Let's see what are some of the things that I set for myself and see if I've accomplished any of those goals. So I've already filled out everything in the journal. As you can see, I pre-written everything out for myself, and I've already reflected on some of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. So in the first portion, it says to celebrate my top 10 achievements. So one of the achievements that I wanted to, or one of the goals that I wanted to accomplish this year for myself, was I wanted to purchase an Apple computer. And I know for some people that's really not a big deal, but that's a really big investment and has a very high price tag. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off, or even if I wanted to invest in something that was so pricey. But I really wanted it. I wanted it for personal use. I wanted it for business use. I knew that it was going to expand some of my business. And I was actually able to accomplish this goal in around February or March. And I'm so super proud of myself and excited because I just never thought it was something that I was going to be able to do. And I actually feel like I manifested it to come into reality because I had it up on my vision board. That's also another video. I will leave a link for you guys down below if you wanted to check out how to do a vision board. I've done 2 videos on how to create one for yourself. So I am so super excited to finally share with you guys how my 2021 vision board turned out. If you could see, it is right behind me by my desk. I wanted to share with you my inspiration behind it, where I pulled some of my ideas, as well as show you how I made a virtual or a digital vision board this year. So I think it's very important to have a vision board. So that is something that I was able to accomplish in the beginning of the year. My second achievement is that I was able to accomplish a fear. And the fear that I had this year was a fear of flying. Now, generally, I do not have a fear of flying. I've flown before. I have absolutely no problem doing it. But I had to fly a couple of weeks ago for work in the middle of COVID, and I was so shook up about it. First of all, I did not want to go to another state, and I knew that coming back and forth to New York, we still had like an alert out on our city, and if you were traveling from different areas, you needed to get tested, and there was just so much that went into having to travel, and I was really super anxious about it, and I did not want to go. I just did some research. I made sure that I had everything that I needed to travel in place. I had all my documents, I had everything laid out, and I did it. And it wasn't a great flight, I'm not gonna lie, and just the whole trip in general, it took me 6 hours to get there. So it was basically a nightmare of a trip, but I needed to go for work, and I feel like that is something that I was able to achieve this year because as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot more anxious with certain things. I think as you get older and you see bad things can happen to people, even when you don't even realize that they can happen, and you're just going through your daily life and you see so many things happening to people. As you get older, it really starts becoming like a social fear for me, and I was never like that before. Living in New York, I used to travel on the train at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for work. I used to sleep on the train. I used to travel by myself all the time, and that's just a sad way to live, but I knew that that was going to be a fear of mine, and I was able to achieve it and get over something that I was scared of. Another achievement of mine that I wanted to celebrate and reflect on was the fact that I was actually able to get a raise. Now, I know a lot of people were not able to get one the way last year went for a lot of companies. They, for obvious reasons, could no longer afford raises. And for me, I was super lucky, and I am so appreciative that my company stayed open. We are an essential business, and we worked really, really hard this year, and people advocated for me to receive a raise, and I just want to say how appreciative I am and how lucky I am that I was just one of the few people who was able to get a raise this year. So I really wanted to reflect on that and celebrate it, because I feel it's just such a high accomplishment, and it's obviously a raise is always needed and it's always welcomed. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I was able to achieve that goal. For obvious reasons, my goal is to grow my YouTube channel. And I know that it's not that I am not consistent with my channel, is that I do the very best that I can when I have the time, because I do work a full-time job and I am older, so I have a lot more responsibilities. I feel like I also have a smaller space, and it's hard to maneuver around other people's schedule and make room and make time to film videos. But I try really hard to do the best that I can to make those videos for you guys. I actually really, really like it, and I know I have to open up a little bit more, expand things in my channel, and just do things that are outside of my comfort zone and outside of my box so I can gain those subscribers. But to believe it or not, I was able to gain like almost 12 new subscribers, and we're almost at 100 subscribers. So I cannot believe it. I mean, it did take me almost a year and a half to get there, but it's 100 more subscribers that I had a year and a half ago when I first started my channel. So I just wanted to say thank you, and that I am so appreciative and grateful that it is a slow progress for me, but it is progress. So on top of the new subscribers, I definitely gained a lot more views. So I'm just going to keep it up and keep filming the content that I am interested in filming, and hopefully my channel will grow into something so much bigger. In addition to growing my YouTube channel, I wanted to accomplish filming over 50 videos, and I actually also was able to accomplish that this year. So I think I have up on my channel like 54 or 55 videos right now. But again, like I said, it is growth in progress, and as long as you stick to something and you see it through, you will see it grow and manifest into what it is that you want to achieve. Another goal of mine that I was able to achieve so far this year is to plan some trips. And I love to travel, but I'm still reluctant to go outside of the country. I'm not ready to get on a plane for vacation purposes or to travel outside of the country yet, but I will go like to local states that are around me that I can drive to, and I have been able to set up some trips for myself this year. My birthday is in July, so I love to just take trips in July. It's like summer vacation for me, so I was able to plan some of those trips that I wanted. So that is something that I was able to accomplish. It's one of my goals that I had for myself, was just to get away from the city. So I am going to be able to do that over the next couple of months. One of my goals this year was to really like scale down and organize my home and become a little bit more minimalistic in the quality of products that I buy for my house, clothing and stuff like that. And it is hard because, you know, there's so many things that you see out there that you want. There's constant advertising. There's a million things on Sephora that I want to buy. I love clothes and accessories. So having to like take a step back and say, do I need those items or do I want those items? And are they going to have the longevity that I'm looking for in my household, in my closet? Like, am I going to look back and wear those items or love those items for years to come? So making sure that the products that I buy for myself are things that are actually things that I'm going to use, want, and I'm going to need in the future. And they're going to become a staple in my lifestyle. So far I've been able to just rearrange and organize my house the best that I can. It is a small space, so sometimes it is hard, and I just feel like sometimes there's just too much clutter, and I hate clutter. I hate feeling like there's just too many things around me, like the walls are just too small to live. So organizing my living space is something that I've been able to accomplish, purge and get rid of things that I just no longer need. Another goal that I set out for myself this year is to be more mindful of myself and my needs. And a lot of times, like, I never put myself first. I'm always rushing around. I'm doing so many things for so many other people. And I never like take time to say, no, I need to do this for myself. And I need to take the time out for myself because mentally I'm just not in that place. I'm not in that mindset. So you have to really listen to what your body is saying. And I don't feel guilty anymore when maybe I don't edit the video that I'm supposed to edit, or I don't do something I'm supposed to do and I'm taking time for myself. I no longer get anxious or I get down on myself for taking time for myself. Like, I no longer get mad at myself or feel guilty about taking time out for myself. I think that mental health is something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's very important that you listen to what your body is saying, what your needs are, and just to slow down. Taking time for myself and enjoying life is something that I just really, really look forward to. So I don't feel guilty anymore when I take time out for myself. I think it's very important. One of the last goals this year that I was actually able to finally achieve and close that chapter in my life, it was a journey that I started taking 2.5 years ago. And that was, I was able to complete my Invisalign. Being more spiritual actually really helps me and satisfies me. And I wasn't someone that like really believed in like God or the church or anything to that effect. Like, I had my own beliefs, but praying more, I find, has definitely centered me more. It gives me something to like focus on. It gives me someone to talk to and hear my thoughts out. Sometimes I just talk to myself and I like work through my issues and my problems out loud. But praying more has definitely centered me more. And there's like a church up the block for me and they have a huge statue there, and I always go there and I just reflect. I take 5 minutes to say, thank you for giving me the life that I have. Please guide me on the right path and make sure that I'm doing and saying the right things, and that I'm open for the universe to give me whatever it is that I'm meant to receive. And just saying those few words every single day just makes me feel just a whole lot better. So I learned that it's okay to pray. It's okay to be spiritual. It's okay to believe in something. And for me, it's okay. And I learned that it just makes me feel a lot better. Something else that I learned about myself in the last 90 days is that I'm actually a really happy person. And when I was younger, in my teens, in my 20s, I was miserable. I was sad. I was depressed. I hated myself, and I used words about me to really put me down, put my self-esteem down, and I would cry all the time, and I would say like, why is this happening to me and stuff like that. I learned to not deal with some of those issues, which put me on a bad path. But now that I'm older, I just feel like a weight is completely lifted off my shoulders, and I feel so happy. And I never feel that way anymore. I've never cried about being depressed. I don't cry about being sad over things that I don't have. I don't cry about my life anymore. I don't cry about hating myself anymore. And I know that sounds so sad to say, but it's something that we go through and we struggle with. And especially if you are struggling with mental health or, you know, self-esteem issues, and we all go through it. Let me say, not all of us feel this way. A lot of people never feel depressed, and they don't or can't relate to that feeling and that emotion, and that's, but in the long haul of things, I definitely learned about myself growing up and how to take care of myself. And I used to think I was so miserable. Like, I don't know if you know MTV, but if you know who Daria is on MTV, this is like going back to like the 90s. I always felt like I was like Daria or Darlene from Roseanne. Like, those are characters that always stood out for me. And they were always characters like that I was compared to, because I was like that gloomy person all the time. And I don't feel that way anymore. And I just feel so happy. And I think that when you get to a point where you just feel so happy, no matter what, there's so much wealth in that to have that feeling. So next section is distractions, mental blocks, and fears. So I find that TV has been such a distraction for me lately. It's like my go-to place when I want to like just like not think about life like at all, and I go there and I escape. But it also is a distraction for me because if I have like a lot of computer work to do or have a lot of work to do in general, I like put it off because I like want to watch TV. So I find like TV being a distraction for me lately. Also, money is always a fear for me. I'm always afraid that I'm going to run out of it, I'm not going to have it, and I'm not going to have it in the future. So I get very stressed out where I have no control over my money. I also have a lot of anxiety about not being successful. And for me, I'm like a late bloomer. I feel like a lot of people my age already have so many things accomplished for themselves. They already have houses. Some of them already have careers. They're already excuse me, they already have so many things set up for themselves future wise, and I'm like a little bit behind a lot of those things. And my fear is that I'm never going to be in a place where I'm so super successful and I can finally look back and say, girl, you are your own boss. And my goal in life, and it is like literally, it's my 10-year goal, is to be my own boss, have my own business. It's something I've always wanted. It is something I've always wanted, I've always thought about. I just didn't know how to get there. And, you know, you still don't know just exactly how to get there. Like, oh, it is my fear that I am never going to be successful in life. Feeling overwhelmed is always a stress factor for me if too many things are going on for me. And I'm really good at multitasking and handling a lot of things on my shoulders. But if I feel super overwhelmed and I feel if I'm running out of time, then I get really, really anxious, and it is a fear of mine that like mentally stops me from like doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And another fear of mine is losing control or not having control of things. I hate it when things do not go right. I hate it when there's like a hiccup in life, and obviously that's life and you have to deal with things like that. But I don't like it when there is like a snag in something and I have to now pivot and deal with something. I know that that sounds like ridiculous because that's life, but it gives me really bad anxiety when things just don't go right. So how do you make yourself feel good about these things? And for me, it's more self-care, taking care of myself. For me, it's enjoying the small stuff every single day, being happy and joyful to be alive and be healthy. Milestones that I'm accomplishing make me continue to go on and feel good about myself, that I'm working towards my goals. And something that I do that makes me feel good is taking care of myself. And I've always had to take care of myself, but you know, sometimes you get lazy, or you know, you don't feel like, you know, doing your hair one day or getting dressed one day or throwing on any makeup one day. But when I look good, I feel good. So taking care of myself has always been a priority for me. So what did not happen and why in the last 90 days? Well, one thing is that I did not win the lottery, and that is a clear goal for myself. It's something that I like manifest every single day. I'm not going to say what it is that I'm manifesting because it's for me, but that is a goal in mind that did not come up in the last 90 days. I did not win the lottery. Did you hear about that girl who won like $26 million? They have her on camera like signing the lottery ticket and everything in the store, and then she washed the lottery ticket and it disintegrated. That literally would happen to me. That would happen to me. I think that if that happened, I would. What else did not happen? Did not reach in the last 90 days. My goal was to have 100 subscribers. We did not reach 100 subscribers yet in the 90 days, but we are on our way. And in the last 90 days, I did not stop stressing out. Sometimes everyday things can stress me out because of like the social anxiety that I have now these days, but I did not completely stop stressing out. And one thing that I stopped doing is I stopped focusing on my exercising. So in the beginning of the year, I went back to the gym, and then I kind of fell off the wagon. Again, I am watching what I'm eating. I've been doing a meal replacement protein shake that I do. I think I may do a video or maybe put it on my Instagram. I keep saying that I will, but I feel like it is working for me, and I just need to lose like 10 to 15 pounds. So obviously that did not happen yet. I have lost a little bit of weight, but not the goal that I set for myself in the beginning of the year. How can I bring more harmony in my life. Eat healthy so I can feel better about myself, let go of negativity, stop worrying so much about the future, let go and let nature take its course. Put all my trust in God, in the universe. And that is something that's very hard to do. Just to say, let go and let God, the universe, let the chips fall where they may, and the universe will help things unfold as they should. People I learn from and get inspired by. My boyfriend inspires me every single day. He is such an amazing person. He's such a go-getter, and I don't think he gets like enough credit than he should in certain situations. He literally carries the weight on his shoulders, and he is the strongest person I think that I've ever met. The guy never has a bad attitude. He's never nasty. He's never depressed. He carries everything. He is a strong figure for me, and I've learned so much being with him, and I'm so grateful for all the things that he's taught me. And just, I know it's like sounds cheesy, but he's such a great person, and he is somebody that I definitely look up to. My mom inspires me to strive to be better and learn from some of those mistakes that my mom made over the years. And she's definitely not a bad person. I love my mom, but I learn from her every single day, and she strives to get me more inspired. And a couple of YouTubers that inspire me are Francesca Bowman, Catherine Manning, and Amanda Etzing. And these are 3 people that I've been following for literally a long time. And I know you're going to say, well, they're YouTubers, how can they inspire me? They're just, their mindset, their work ethic, their thought process is what inspires me. I obviously do not know these people personally, but I feel like I know them because I've been watching them for so many years. They definitely help me be more mindset, to be a better entrepreneur, to be a better businesswoman, to take care of my goals and my needs, and they just have a great mindset. So I will list some of their handles below so you can check them out if you're interested. And what actions can I take to improve? Keep focusing on my manifesting, love myself more, keep consistent. I think being consistent is very important. It's okay to work at my own pace. And also one of the things that I continue to strive for is to be more intentional with my words and my thoughts, and make sure that what I'm saying has meaning behind it and that there is intention behind my thought process. In this wheel right here, it gives you a breakdown on how you can rate these topics and goals as priorities for yourself. So like I rated business and my career an 8, personal growth a 9.5, spirituality a 9, contribution to society a 7, self-image a 9, productivity and progress a 9, love and relationships an 8, social life and friends an 8, family an 8, recreation and fun a 9, health a 9, and finance a 10. Moving on to the next portion. So we've already finished this whole page. I hope that this video isn't super long. I'm trying to make it short. Hopefully you guys are like really interested in this kind of content and reflecting on the last 90 days of my life. And I feel like if I can show examples on how it's working, maybe you will set those goals for yourself in the beginning of the year. And if you're starting to feel down about yourself, like, oh, you're never going to accomplish those goals, you're never going to get what you want, it's unachievable. It is. You just have to be patient. I was never patient. I always wanted I always wanted immediate self gratification and self satisfaction. I wanted to see results now. And that's why it was really hard for me to start and stick with certain businesses I started, because I always didn't stick with it because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted, and then I would get down on it and I would quit. Don't quit, just keep going and know that it is definitely going to work out for you. So how will I love myself and make myself happy every day in the last 90 days, which I kind of feel like I've already said. Realize that things happen for a reason and in the time frame that it is meant for you to achieve them. And it's okay to love yourself and be okay with who you are. I am totally cool. What is my number 1 goal for the next 90 days? And that is to stop worrying about what others think about me all the time and how I look. So sometimes I feel like even though I am happy with my appearance, I'm happy with how I look, I do have a lot more self-confidence than I did years and years ago. I still worry about if people are going to like me. I worry about if people make fun of me. And I have to really think to myself, who cares like about those people? Like, who cares what people think? Who cares what people call you? Obviously, they have their own issues and they already feel down about themselves, so I can't really make them feel better. And people who talk bad about you are just trying to make themselves feel better. So I have to try to kind of like just remind myself that it's not about me, it's about them, and be okay with it. So achieving this goal is very important because it will bring me the most happiness in my life. When I achieve this goal, my life will improve in the following ways. I will feel more successful, I will definitely feel happier, and I won't have to compare myself to others every single day. When I achieve this goal, I will reward myself with. So if I achieve this goal, I will just have a sense of achieving the goal and feeling that my feelings are fulfilled and accomplished and that I am worthy. What are the 5 most important action steps that I can take to achieve this goal? Take things one day at a time. That's how I take my life, one day at a time, one step at a time. Things are not going to happen overnight. Keep myself energized. Don't be a lump on a log. Eat healthy and get the motivation that you need to be successful. Keep your energy up. Don't put yourself down and stop talking bad about yourself. So I feel like we do something that's so bad for our self-confidence, and that is when we put our own selves down. It's bad enough that we're up against so many things in life. We are our #1 cheerleader, and we have to realize that, and that we need to boost ourselves up and boost up our confidence and talk good about ourselves. And we are the only person who is going to do that. People around us, obviously, if we have people in our lives that are there for our best interest, that is great. But if you don't, who is going to be your advocate? Who is going to be your cheerleader? And the only person to do that is you. So if you talk bad about yourself by constantly saying, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm worthless, I'm never going to accomplish anything, I'm never going to do anything with life, I'm just worthless because maybe your parents say you are, or maybe your boss says you are, or maybe an ex-partner of yours puts you down when you guys break up, or even generally in a relationship, then you need to advocate for yourself and you need to boost your own morale and stop talking bad about yourself. For me, praying is as often as possible is something that is going to be an action step for me. That may not be for you, but praying and meditating is something that I feel just really centers me. So I'm going to definitely try to do more of it. And just know and think to yourself that if you're going through something that's really hard right now and you're going through a tough time or a bad time, that things will change. They never stay that way forever. It's just a phase that you're going through, and you will get through it and you will survive. And just know that this is just for a short period of time, but it definitely will change. So what skills and habits do I have to master this in the next 90 days so I can achieve my goals? So if you haven't checked out one of my recent videos, I just talked about how to budget on a budget. I also in that video touch upon credit, 401k, pension, loans, and how to set yourself up for the future to set up your finances. So those are some topics that I've set. So what kind of skills and habits do I have to master this in the next 90 days so I can achieve that goal? So if you haven't checked out my recent video where I talk about how to budget on a budget, you're going to want to check out that video if you're not doing anything related to budgeting. Now, I have been budgeting my money for decades, and what I share with you in this video is a very easy concept to follow. It's a very simple strategy on how you can budget your money when you are working off of a budget. In that video, I also talk about 401k, loans. I also talk about pension, and how to set yourself up for those goals. I also talk about an account called Acorns, which rolls over your investments. So if you are absolutely doing nothing in your life right now to budget or manage your money, you're going to want to check out that video because you have to start somewhere and think about your future. So it's very important that my retirement has been set up for myself for the future. I started very late in life, but know that even if you are starting late, it's better than not start at all. So if you want to check out that video, I will leave a link for you down below. I think it's a really important video to watch, especially if you're just starting out. It's basically budgeting for beginners. And what books or training programs will you study to achieve this goal? So let me go grab some of those books that I have been recently reading. So some of the books that I have been reading are You Are a Badass. I absolutely love this book. It speaks volumes to me. It really teaches you to stop doubting yourself and that you're great. And she talks to you like literally she's like your girlfriend. And I absolutely love this book. I think I'm going to do a whole video like reviewing this book. I also started reading Girl Boss. I'm only a few pages into this. The Greatest Secret, which is a continuation to The Secret. If you're into law of attraction and manifesting, this is a great, great book to read. And one of my all-time favorite books, and I talked about this in a previous video, is The Seat of the Soul. It's a really great spiritual book on beliefs and how you see the world. And I just highly recommend it if you're looking in the evolution of humans and how we value our soul and ourselves. And it's just, I've read this book so many times. I've been meaning to sit down and review some of the books that I've been reading for you guys. It's just taking me a really long time to read them. So I definitely will get to it eventually. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you were able to reflect on the last 90 days of your goals that you've set for yourself. Like I said, I think it's very important to set goals for yourself, especially in the beginning of the year, so you could see like what path you're on, and then by the end of the year you can see what you accomplished and what you didn't, and how and why you didn't accomplish those goals that you set for yourself. Was it your own self that got in the way? Was it something that was out of your control that got in the way? Are you still on the path of achieving those goals, but it's taking a little bit longer for you to achieve them, which is also a possibility. Like I say, things just don't happen overnight, and sometimes things take a lot longer than we expected. But as long as we are on that journey and we can see them being accomplished, I think it's very important that we reflect and go over them so we can, we can see that we're actually achieving those goals, and we can pat ourselves on the back and we could say you're doing a great job. So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. I think that I am going to be filming a haul video for you guys. It is the summer season. It is my favorite time of the year. Everybody likes a good haul every now and again, and maybe I'll just keep my hauls to a seasonal thing. So if you're interested, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get alerts. And I hope everyone has a great weekend and enjoy the beginning of summer. So for now, guys, I will talk to you real soon. Bye.